my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn, so they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest.
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now. It's the right time, It's the right sound. Right now. Tell the whole pipe down. Tell that nigga pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne. So guys, y'all already know what we have to do. We are talking about Terrell Owens and Chad Ocho Cinco's conversation on IG Live, and it gets deep, all right? It gets so deep. They're talking about dating, specifically talking about dating in the community, okay? Talking about dating black women. And Terrell Owens really opens up about his experience dating black women and, you know, some of the pitfalls that he had growing up early that a lot of black men can relate to. And a lot of black men can say, hey, man, I actually had that same experience. I had a very similar experience and a very similar upbringing. So I want to play this video. I want to play it through one time fully, and then I want to go through systematically and break down exactly what he's saying so you guys can get a full picture. And you already know I'm going to give you know, the best commentary that I possibly can, because this topic is seriously important. And we'll also get into some of the comments. You have a lot of black women who are upset at what he said. So let's listen up.
My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn,
so
they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I'm like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls. Right. So my thing now is because I know there's the stigma. The stereotypical of athletes, you know, to go off and make money, this and that, and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy, and I get a good vibe with. Right. That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive.
Right,
you know what I mean? Aesthetics going to play a big part in it. Anybody that says, oh, well, I don't care what the person looks like, that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to, that, you know what I mean, that looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was in my high school pretty much is 50, I don't know what percentage black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this beautiful smile as I had I have now.
You hit puberty.
Right. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And when I bloomed, boy, did I bloom. My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good.
All right, guys. So there you have it. He speaks on his experience dating black women, and I mean, it's literally the same story that every black man has. If, and I say this is a big if, you are not a thug maxed alpha simp. See, Terrell Owens, he actually wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school. I actually had a homeboy who played football with him, and he went to some small college. I forget the name, but my homie Jermaine, he used to cut my hair and all that. He's a good dude, good barber too, and he was a family friend of mine, and he actually played football with Terrell Owens back in the day. So Terrell Owens, he wasn't some big star. He wasn't some, 5-star athlete, the type of press that these guys are getting now. And back then, athletes, they were desired, but the clout was not there enough for women to just be throwing themselves at them like they do nowadays. Nowadays, if you're an athlete, it's pretty much over. Ain't no way you ain't getting laid. But back in the day, you really had to earn your stripes, and you really had to get mass media marketing via newspaper, via radio, via television, not so much the internet because it was just now starting up. But that's the only way you could really get notoriety and clout. And we know how clout makes these women move. So Terrell Owens, he didn't have much clout. He was tall, lanky, probably not as attractive as he is now. And these are his words, not mine. So black women were fronting on him, okay? And this is what you guys have to understand. In high school, I know we all remember, think back to high school. The good-looking sisters, and like I said, we're not talking about these big old obese 300-pound women. We're not talking about y'all. Y'all can sit this one out. We don't really care who y'all date, okay? And we don't care if y'all reject us either. Here's the thing. The good-looking sisters, they were going after the thug max alpha simps. Now, me personally, I did not start dating out of my race until I was like, I'll say 21. All throughout high school, I had only known black women, okay? I remember my first girlfriend in 8th grade. She wasn't fully mixed, but she was like a quarter mix. She was black and German. So, shout out to her. She's a really cool girl, really good girl. And then, we go down the line through high school, and, I had my girlfriends in high school and whatnot. So, I mean, I personally did not struggle with dating, but I saw a lot of brothers who did. And the reason why I didn't struggle, because yes, I was an athlete in high school. So that kind of already threw me into a social hierarchy. And then, I was just a sociable person. I was good at talking to people, and I made people feel comfortable. So, but I understand exactly what Terrell Owens is talking about, because when you look back at the baddies, the actual girls who looked very good in high school, they were going after thug maxed alpha simps. They did not want the Malcolms. And what is a Malcolm? A Malcolm, well, I'm glad you asked. A Malcolm is a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. And for some reason, I think that black women's barometer on a man's personality is broken, because they see strength in a man who sags his pants and, carries a gun around. Whereas most women see strength with a man with stability, a man who takes responsibility, a man who is self-accountable. So you have a skewed perspective on what is actually attractive. And we all know that black women definitely prefer thug max alpha simps over any other type of man. And that's what Terrell Owens is speaking to. He's saying that, hey man, they teased him for being dark skinned. And I've already spoken on this before. The women in high school were way more colorist than the men. See, when it comes to men, yeah, you get teased, but we all know that, hey, this guy, he's my friend. He's just playing. He's calling you, he's saying, oh, you black ass nigga. He's my friend, because I can go back and, call him a short ass nigga or ugly ass nigga. And then we're going to go play basketball in PE at fourth period. See, that's how men operate. So the digs and the insults and the joning and the back and forth and the roasting, it really doesn't hit between men, because we can take jokes and we're like, hey, it's open season on me, it's open season on him, unless you're like getting bullied or something. That's a whole different situation. But when it comes to the women, I mean, I don't have a personal experience of sister saying, oh, you black as hell, da da da. But I do know some guys who have, okay? I had an African friend, his dad was a substitute teacher, and the girls were relentless on him, and he would try and ask girls out, and he was very nice, very polite, a gentleman, and everything. He even played football, but he didn't get any playing time. He was kind of, he was kind of more chill, all right? And he wasn't a big time star on the football field. So the women pretty much disrespected him. And when he asked them out, they would make fun of him. Oh, you black ass ninja. Oh, your pink ass lips. Oh, this. So they would make fun of him for being dark skinned. So when we talk about colorism, it's really coming from sisters. Now, I'm not saying that black men don't, practice colorism in some ways. But I remember ultimately the majority of the you black as hell stuff that was coming from the women. All right. So they love to talk about how men are colorists, but they will do the same exact thing. And, I'm a little confused because Terrell Owens was black. He was tall. And you would think that the tall, dark, and handsome trope would go over well in the community, especially in the 90s and the 80s when he grew up. But you see that he didn't really have success in high school. All right. And the black women turned their backs on him. And I'm going to tell you what, a lot of sisters say, oh, you need to heal and you need to get over it. That was high school. But what y'all don't understand is that high school sister translates into college. That college sister translates into the real world. And then by then, when they get in the real world, you already know, and this isn't specific to black women, this is specific to all women. After college, they're already ran through. It's used goods. You don't want her anymore. All right. Like she got 2-3 kids. You don't want her anymore. So there's a certain amount of time where it is desirable to get with these women. But during that time, they are not desiring you. So you see a lot of black men who are saying, hey, man, I'm just going to go, explore my options in other realms. And that's what Terrell Owens is saying that he did. And he's comfortable, okay? He enjoys it over there, as they would like to say. So I'm glad that he shared his experience. And I actually want to go through and break down everything that he said. So let's start from the top.
My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college.
So he said his first experience with a white girl is when he went to college. Ditto, you feel me? I totally agree. When black men go to college, as you guys can see, the data tells us that 33%, 1/3 of black men who go into college and graduate with a degree date outside of their race, okay? And the reason why that is because when you get to college, for one, let's just keep it a buck. These women are nicer. Women outside of the race, they're just nicer, okay? When it comes to the nice meter on by race, and this is just a rough estimate. I know a lot of white guys gonna go, well, my wife divorce rate me. Okay, cool. We're not talking about that right now. We're just talking about youthful benevolence. All right, we're talking about that. We're talking about the joy of youth. We're not talking about you, a 35-year-old man, and your wife left you, and you 42, and then she took half your assets. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about no care in the world, no worries in the world. You're in college. You don't have expenses. Your tuition is paid for. You're on the meal plan. You have housing, so you're good. You're good, all right? That's what we're talking about. In that scenario, which most college kids are in that scenario, or at least some form of that scenario, the stress level in college is like minor compared to what the stress level that you have in the real world. So no care in the world, no stress, and you're on campus. The nice meter when it comes to races, I would say white girls are probably the nicest. And then I would say after white girls, you're probably going to get really nice Indian girls. Then you're going to get really nice Asian girls. And then, what else is there? Hispanic girls. There's really, from my experience, there wasn't that many Hispanic girls at my college. But I would say they're probably Hispanic girls are probably third on the totem pole as far as being nice to black men, because I would say Asian girls, they prefer white men, so they're not going to be as nice to black men, if not have any interactions with them at all. So and then I would say, okay, black women are the meanest out of all the races. And this is not to single them out, it's just a reality. When you approach different races, you will see the difference in the way they react. And oftentimes when you do approach black women, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but they're going to give you that attitude. They're going to give you that teeth smack, and they're going to give you that, why are you talking to me? That type of vibe, and the period and the neck rolls. They will give you that. I'm not saying that every single one will, but I know for a fact that most brothers who are cold approaching are experiencing the brutal rejections, and the majority of the brutal rejections are coming from the community. Okay. All right. So let's break the rest of this video down.
I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me.
Woo! So you heard what he said. This is Terrell Owens, Big T.O., the guy who did the snowman in the Cowboy Stadium. How is it that he was in college? This man is 6'4", 215 pounds, chiseled. I mean, he's an athlete. How is it that he could not get black women in college? And he's tall, dark, handsome, in shape. I mean, it's insane. And this was in the 80s and 90s. Why? Because the black women on campus date local thug max alpha sims. Y'all don't have to believe me. I literally live on a college campus. I'm telling you right now, the sisters in college, mostly the athletes are getting what's the stereotype? Athletes are getting with the white girls. But the thing is, the sisters, they do want the athletes too. Don't get me wrong. They want to be with the athletes, but they're not willing to do what the white girls are willing to do to get the athletes, because it looks pick-me-sha, right? They're going to say, oh, you're a pick-me. But I'm going to tell you what, right now, when you look at these athletes and you go, especially with the NIL, when you go out and you see how these athletes moving, the white girls are lined up to talk to them. They really are. And, the black women just don't feel like they have to compete. So that's why you're getting this energy. And then it sounds like he even tried to approach, tried to talk to, tried to do this, tried to do that. And they rejected him. Why? Because he was not thug maxed enough. He probably sounded too proper. I told you guys, when you're talking to sisters, you cannot enunciate your words. You cannot wear your pants up. You cannot tuck in your shirt. You cannot wear formal dress code. You have to be a thug max alpha simp if you are trying to. And I'm not talking about your ugly, fat, obese bitches. I am talking about bad chicks in the community. Except with an exception of the earthy, and this is what I said, earthy black girls, the girls who are like into the ecology and veganism. And I'm not saying that I would want to date a vegan, but what I'm saying is that the earthy, more black girls, the spiritual, whatever, those types, they're more likely to get with a quote unquote square, a quote unquote video game nerd, an anime nerd. If you are a black man and you are one of these, a video game nerd, an anime nerd, one of these guys, right? You have a higher probability of getting with a more earthy black girl. But, that comes with its own type of things too. But we're not going to get into that right now. What we're going to talk about are the baddies on campus. The baddest. I'm talking about the most attractive sisters. They are getting with the locals. They're getting with the Thug Max Alpha Sims. They want the athletes. They want to be with the athletes, but they're not willing to compete. They're not willing to wait outside the bar just to talk to the star quarterback. They're not willing to, DM him first. They're not willing to, go out of their way to introduce themselves. They want him to approach them. And I'm going to tell you right now, big time athlete, unless he really, really wants you, he's not going to approach you. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because why would he? I mean, he's got women throwing themselves at him. He's got the NIL deal now. He's got money. I mean, he literally has no incentive to approach you unless you're super duper attractive to him and he really, really wants you. So, I mean, a lot of sisters are like, why are the black men who are athletes dating white girls? It's simply because, for one, they're nicer. For two, they approach. They shoot their shot. They're not afraid to compete. Because what? Because they are willing to go the extra mile to impress men that black women don't feel like they have to impress. That's quite frankly the truth.
I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even to college.
Woo! Skinny, strong, scrawny tees in high school and even college. And here's the thing. Nowadays, the skinny ninja bust down is the look. Now every girl wants a super skinny tall guy. And the looks are changing now. But what would have differentiated Terrell Owens back in the day? He probably wasn't sagging his pants. He probably was speaking the King's English. I'm telling you guys right now, if you don't put on that Thug Max Alpha Simp voice with these sisters, like I'm saying, like really just change your whole tone and your tonality. I'm saying like really just approach and like really press up on some real gangster shit, feel me? Cause like they ain't really gonna fuck with you if you ain't really pulling that Atlanta swag, that Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, that enunciation shit like that. If you really like pulling out big words and shit like that, like you really ain't gonna get far with that. Like I'm just telling you right now, bro, if you really gonna pronounce your words and shit like that, like, then hey man, you might as well just get up out the paint with this shit, bro, because they ain't gonna really fuck with you like that unless you really talking like you a money bag yo, or you talking like, you know, Plies fake voice, you feel me? Like I mean, you really got to be talking like this, because I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you guys right now, y'all don't want to believe me, y'all don't have to believe me, but it's the damn truth.
I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn,
So
they tease you, cuz?
Yeah.
Okay, so this part is really important. He said he got teased for being dark-skinned, and then Chad Ocho Cinco, you know, he's trying to be funny, and, you know, shout out to both of these guys. I mean, watching these guys play on the football field it was magical. It was magical. One of the greatest wide receivers to ever do it. Two of the greatest wide receivers to ever do it, rather. And both of these guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. It's not even a question in my mind. The only thing that would stop T.O. is like his bad press and his attitude and all that kind of stuff. You know, obviously he was very difficult to play with in the locker room. He had a huge ego. And yes, some of that could have been from insecurity in his past. Some of that could have been from being hurt. But when you're down and out for so long, and then you really come up, and now you're a god amongst men, because he was a god amongst men when it comes to the NFL. One of the first power, you know, receivers out there. I mean, you're gonna have this feeling of you know, can't nobody talk to me, can't nobody mess with me, because that's what people are doing to you in your youth. Now, what I do want to highlight is Chad Ocho Cinco jokingly jumps in. Oh, they play with you because they made fun of you, because they bullied you, because Chad Ocho Cinco, I know he's trying to be funny, but don't act like you didn't experience this too. If you guys saw there's a podcast, I Am Athlete, that he was on, and he spoke about his relationship with his mother. His mother, and I'm not trying to speak for him and his mom, you know, it's a sensitive topic. Niggas be like, oh, don't be talking about my mom, I'm gonna kill you, right? But his mother, and this is something that he literally said, his mother even used to get on him about his skin tone. His mother even used to be disrespectful to him. His mother berated him. He had a love-hate relationship with his mother, and his mother recently passed, God rest her soul, a few years ago. And he was struggling with that because he was on, I'm not going to say he was on bad terms with her when she passed. I don't know. But she was a very stereotypical, you know, I mean, the stereotypical mean single mother. Like, she was really that. And I know a lot of those, trust me. I know women who talk to them, hey man, get your dumb ass head, and the kid is 2 years old. Get your motherfucking hand off that motherfucking stove. And the kid is like 1.5. His mother was like that. The way that he described her, that's how his mother was. So I don't see why he's trying to feign ignorance as if he doesn't understand what Terrell Owens is talking about. He knows for a fact and has had personal dealings and personal experience with nasty, foul-mouthed, disrespectful, unfortunately, black women in the form and shape of his own mother. And he speaks about how she pushed him to be greater in football, and it wasn't because she was saying, you're so good at football, you're going to be the greatest, you're a god amongst men, you're mossing on everybody, nobody can guard you, nobody can touch you, your jump off the line is quicker, no defensive backs, no cornerbacks, no strong safety, no safety get their hands on you when they line up man to man to you. You are the GOAT. You can infiltrate any zone, you can read zones, you can hop into a cover 4 and outflank the safety, you can get the edge on a cornerback when you're running a fade. You can get, she's not encouraging him in that way. This is the way she's encouraging him. You black as hell, you ain't never gonna be shit, you ugly as fuck, I'm telling you, that is exactly what happened. And he may not admit it verbatim, but he's spoken on it multiple times on podcasts, and he said how difficult it was growing up with his mother because she berated him. She made him feel insignificant. She made him feel like nothing. And that motivated him to overcome that and prove her wrong. So Chad Ocho Cinco knows all too goddamn well about his own personal experience with the sisters in his life, specifically his own mother, who gave him the same type of rhetoric that Terrell Owens was giving. And this is the nuance that nobody else is talking about. But because I'm an athlete, I keep up with athletes, and I love what I love more about an athlete's performance on the field is their story. Their story makes all of the difference in the world. And that's what I'm very interested in. I say, hey man, this guy he's good. How did he become that? What pushed him to be that? And you go into their story and like, okay, now I get it. And Chad Ocho Cinco has had his struggles with women as well. He apparently headbutted Evelyn Lanzada, and they were in a fight. I don't know if it was mutual combat, but I know she is a crazy Latina, so she most likely threw pots and pans, knives, forks, whatever. They were fighting, and he headbutted her, and that was like a big story for a long time. So he's had his struggles with women too. I'm not saying he's a perfect guy. But what I am saying, though, is I don't like how he kind of acted like he has no idea. Oh, they made fun of you, cuz? Chad Ocho Cinco, you know for a fact your mama was on your ass about being black as hell. Stop going out in the sun and playing football. You black as hell. You gonna get blacker. I mean, y'all think that I'm just playing and this is like just some, oh, nobody's ever said that to you. Yeah, then you literally have never been in the black community one day. You literally have never been to the cookout. That's literally what that means.
So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I'm like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again,
So he had an experience with white women, and then he said he didn't totally gravitate to them, but it was a positive experience. So now he's curious. Now he's like, wow, well, the black girls didn't want me. Let's explore other options.
Experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls. Right. So my thing now is, because I know there's the stigma, the stereotypical of athletes, to go off and make money, this and that, and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with.
And you hear what he said. Now it's not about color. It's not about race. It's about somebody that I have chemistry with. And I'm telling you right now, as a rich black man, as a black man who's making money, as a rich black athlete, you're not going to have chemistry with black women. I mean, it sucks to say, but most likely when you become a successful black man, you're not going to have chemistry with black women because a lot of times they want to bring you down. They get jealous. If you guys saw that Sexy Red mukbang interview, she was saying, I don't want my ninja to come out of jail because, he's a real street ninja. He's a real hood ninja. And the rap community is going to gravitate around him. Therefore, he's going to have more clout than me because I'm not even talented. So I don't want him to come out of prison because, you know, it's better that he's in prison so I can soak up all the clout and I can get all the money and I can have the control in the relationship dynamics. See, black women want the control in the relationship dynamics. They want to be in charge. They want to lead. That's why you hear a lot of the divestors speaking about, you know, dating white men, because it's easy for a black woman to lead a white man, because if he questions her in any way, she can just say, oh, you're just racist. So whereas black men, we get all of our women to submit except black women. Okay, so that's the catch-22 here. So a rich black man, you're not gonna have chemistry with a black woman, even if she has just as much money as you, because at least these modern black women, a lot of them, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of them, you're not going to have chemistry with them because, for one, they think you're corny if you speak proper English. That's a fact. And a lot of these athletes are pretty, you know, articulate, especially nowadays. So with all the media and the press conferences they have to do, so you're not going to have chemistry with them. You're just not. All right. You're in two different fields socioeconomically. A lot of them really don't know how to act when they get in that position. You see a lot of these women, you know, having babies with these guys and exposing them on social media. Like I said, women love embarrassing men on social media. And this is what a lot of black women do. They're going to be the first ones to go spill your business. Oh, you was eating my ass. You was doing this. Well, you weren't saying that when oh, your PP small and all this kind of stuff. Y'all see the type of stuff that they come back and say. So you're not going to have chemistry with black women if you're a rich black man. That's just the facts. And that's why black men are dating out, because there's nothing left for us when it comes to chemistry. There's nothing left for us when it comes to getting along, because a lot of these black women, they need the power dynamic in the relationship, and they just don't have respect for black men in general, even if he's accomplished a whole bunch.
Good energy and I get a good vibe with. Right. That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Aesthetics going to play a big part in it. Anybody that says, oh, well, I don't care what the person looks like, that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to, that, you know what I mean, that looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was in my high school pretty much is 50, I don't know what percentage black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this beautiful smile as I had I have now.
Hit puberty.
Right. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And when I bloomed, boy, did I bloom. My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls was when I went to college. I tried to date some black.
Okay, so let's get into the comment section. Black women were really upset with his comments. So Tashera J says, respectfully, T.O. got to heal. And they're saying, oh, he got to heal. He's already healed. He's come to grips with it. He's out of the NFL. He's in great shape. He's still working out. He's still training. He's probably more healed than a lot of you hoes. And this is what annoys me. When a man speaks candidly and frankly about his experience in dating, oh, you got to heal. He's already healed. He's good. He's happy. Look at how happy he is talking to one of his best friends, one of his peers. Two of the greatest wide receivers having a conversation on Instagram Live. Who would ever thought? Whoever thought? This conversation alone, he's making history. He's happy. He's healed. And black women think that they're fucking therapists. You're not a fucking therapist. You have no idea what's going on in his mind. But I'll tell you what, he is healed and he knows what he wants. He knows what he wants. And apparently it's not you. And they hate that. Why? Because he's influencing other athletes to do the same thing. And I don't blame them. And they should do the same thing. SYSBM. That's why I support MGTOW. That's why I support SYSBM. That's why I support the free agent lifestyle. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Because this is the reality. So respectfully, T.O. got to heal. The first relationship with a black woman he had that wasn't so good was with his mother. And that's a lot of black men. Okay. Whether he knows it or not, every black woman he encounters will be viewed through that lens. And that's not true at all. That's not true at all. It's just that y'all act the same. I mean, there's rarely any nuance between these different sisters. All right. And it would be different if y'all all act the same and y'all were all nice. Y'all were all kind. Y'all were all in shape. Y'all were all sweet and submissive, but you're not. It's like the attributes that are very common in black women are the attitude, is the disrespect, the potty mouth, the I don't give a fuck, the strong independent. That's the common attribute. That's the common personality trait amongst black women. It's the facts. So you can't just be like, oh, well, you know, the one woman that he had a bad relationship with was his mother, and he's viewing every woman from that lens. No, he's not. No, he's not. A lot of y'all are just fucking mean. How about y'all just admit that y'all are fucking assholes? It's not that hard. I'm not dismissing his experiences, yet you are. But until he heals that mother wound, he'll never really be open. So, ma, you hate your mom. Ridiculous. Queen, whatever. I'm not going to try that one. Queen Sheba, darling. He lying. The one he liked may not have liked him back, but I don't believe not one black girl liked him. For one, in that time, it wasn't social media. So you're getting the real. This is the I don't want no scrub. Scrub is somebody that wants someone from me. In the passenger side, trying to holler at me. This is that era. So yes, I believe it that not one single black girl that he wanted him back. I 100% believe that. He said, that's how I ended up dating Latinas. Night and day difference. See, black men who said, hey, this is how I started dating Latinas because y'all just mean as fuck. This woman says lies. College athletes are kept around white people and give elite treatment, so they start act too good for black women unless they're within that elite circle. Cap. How is she going to tell this man that he's lying about what happened to him? And these women are trying to make it seem like being a college athlete back then is the same as being a college athlete now. It's not the same at all. It's literally night and day. They get paid now. They didn't get paid back then. Who cares? Date who you like, somebody says. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I like mine blue-black. And that's my Kalia. I mean, I believe her. Light-skinned women are attracted to dark-skinned men. Sub-Saharan King says that's how they do until you get that name and date outside. Now you're a sellout. Yeah. Oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying they're rude, they're mean, they're nasty until you date out, and then now you're a sellout. But they didn't want you back then. You date somebody new, and then they're like, why aren't you dating black women? Yep, exactly. I had a lot of bad experiences with black guys, but that didn't differ me from them, but whatever. So here's the thing. The reason it didn't defer you from black men is because that's pretty much all you got. I mean, look at her profile picture. You're damn near bald. You don't have no hair. You're over 50. The only option that you got are black Malcolms, okay? You don't have an option to date a white man. You don't have an option to date a Mexican man. You don't have an option to date an Asian man. You just don't. All right? They don't really want you like that. So, yeah, you didn't differ and date outside your race because you freaking couldn't. That's the facts. Just like Terrell Owens, he wasn't dating black women because he couldn't. He tried and he failed. Hers truly says, why you date white girls should never have anything to do with black women. Just say it's your preference and slide. I mean, I kind of agree, but that's not how the world works. See, I mean, if you really want to keep it a buck, because of the obesity rates amongst black women, on average, other races of women are just more attractive, strictly based off of weight and that only metric. So if we base it solely off of that metric, other women are attractive just because they're in better shape. Like I said, how many black girls do y'all really see in the gym? Do not lie in the damn comment section. You don't see many. I'm gonna read a couple more comments. I was teased for my skin tone. I was chunky, so I was teased for that. And I was teased for being weird growing up. And it still didn't make me not want to date within my own race. But hey, everybody deals with stuff differently. It's a private profile, and it looks like she has somebody else's profile picture. So I can't even speak to how she looks. I really don't care. And those black women you're using the wrong you're deferring to or referring to from back in the day don't either. Okay? So that's the attitude, that they don't care. So, all right, then don't have an opinion. He's saying a lot of nothing just to validate his preference. He literally said everything. Narcissistic behaviors were obvious, probably. So he's a narcissist. He literally told you he was insecure. He literally told you he was self-conscious about his body build, his being skinny, him being a little gaunt, and his skin tone. He was insecure. How can he be a narcissist and also be... Oh my God. I mean, like I said, women don't understand definitions, especially black women. All right, now this is a long Instagram comment from a black woman, and we're gonna end it on this. So the woman's name is, or her Instagram handle, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho. Hey, H to the OV. I used to move slow flakes by the OZ. All right, shout out to her. Y'all know we love Jigga. But anyways, T. Owens isn't telling a lie. White girls will line up to date the awkward black guy that isn't what is considered handsome, fine, or cute. What did I fucking say? God damn it! God damn it! Oh God, bruh. I'm literally one of the best content creators on this fucking platform. And the smartest. Whew. Let me calm down. This woman literally validated everything that I just said. Oh my God, I'm about to have a heart attack. All right. RG3 is a perfect example. Yeah. And I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of people say I look like RG3. Now, I think it's funny, but you know, I don't really have that gap that he does. I think I look a little better than RG3, but you know, people want to compare me to RG3. It's fine. They accept them with as they are. The busted teeth, messed up hairline. Yes. Now the teeth thing, RG3 does have a gap, but his teeth aren't busted. But you know, as you guys can see, pearly white straight teeth, but no hairline. Now, a lot of people say, hey, Reclaim Your Throne, why don't you get a lineup? Why don't you have a hairline? Because I'm dating outside of my race and they don't care. I mean, they can tell, like, sometimes, oh, did you get a lineup? Like my girls say that sometimes, but I mean, ultimately, they don't care. They find you attractive without getting a hairline. See, I told you. And lack of style. This is why I don't wear a shirt, because it doesn't matter. I don't have to be some swagged out nigga. I don't give a fuck, because my girl doesn't care. So what am I performing for? Why am I trying to get all swagged up and dressed up? No, I'm a frugal man. I'm going to save that money for an investment. Damn, I got myself worked up. Once that awkward black guy ends up as the star football player / athlete, that white girl is already years in. Yep. The black guy also remembers that those white girls didn't have any hangups with how they dressed or look. And here's the thing. White girls who are, and I know a lot of the MGTOW and black pill guys are going to say, oh my God, these white women are this. White girls who are like 25 and under, they're nice as fuck. They just are, especially on a college campus. They're going to go up to you and be like, hey, do you know where McCorder Hall is? Or hey, like they're going to come up to you. Black girls. When the last time you ever seen a black girl really approach a black man with a romantic interest? Barely, if ever. White girls will approach. They will line up just like this woman is saying. They accepted with or without. Let me go back. That black guy also remembers that those white girls didn't have any hangups with how they dressed or looked. They accepted with or without an agenda because, baby, they are taught what money potential is from the womb, them as they were. So this is where I disagree. It's not about money. It's about they're attracted to black men. Wait for it. because we're more masculine than their men. That's all it is. Like, most white girls are attracted to their own race. However, they understand, if I want a higher level of masculinity, let me go get a black guy. That's literally it. Fast forward to getting real money and being around other players and being influenced by fashion and things. And then here's another thing. White girls will stick it out if you cheat. They will. That's just what, I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but they understand that sexual access and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health. This is something that Sauce Walker even spoke on. He said, yeah, I don't really date black women because they're not going to be down with the movement. Now, Sauce Walker, he has a different approach. He has the women that he deals with on OF and his baby mama on OF popping pussy and shit like that. I mean, it's pretty disgusting, but, you know, he was able to, you know, get them to be cool with his polygynous lifestyle. And that's pretty much, you're only going to see that out of white women. You're not going to see that out of black girls. The only one you can really see it from is Lou Will. And the only reason why Lou Wills is able to keep those two black women in check is because, you know, it does have to do with, now that's who really care about money, the sisters. It's because he has money, and it's because he is a Thug Max Alpha Simp turned athlete. If they don't make it together, she's conditioned him, and he will never forget how easy it was to date that white girl. And how it, see, exactly. Black men, we don't want a hard dating experience. We want easy. And how intimidating or hard it was to date the black girl. It's not intimidating. Y'all just like are not easygoing. That's literally it. Men are not intimidated by women, guys. Like, stop saying this. Nobody is scared of a fucking bitch. He will almost always pick a white girl moving forward because he was able to be himself. Yes, exactly. Sometimes there are the few black girls without the hangups and accept the person as they are. Few and far between. Absolutely, this woman is snapping. As they mature, black and white doesn't always mean anything. They go with the vibes, but who have they been vibing with naturally? Bingo, the white girl. Oh my God. This is the comment of the day. Shout out to this black woman for her introspective outtake. You know, her ability to relate to the common man's plight. This is it. This, you know, with the exception of the intimidating thing, that's it. That's it. That's exactly it right there. So you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. See any relationship questions, email down below. The screenshot of your CashApp so I know you're paying on the ties, man. Y'all need to be on your motherfucking game with the BS. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.